Right, hey guys, working on a 2013 Kia Optima with the 2.4, and we have the notorious P1326 code. Okay, this code is very common. It's not common, but when you get this code, it's like the red ring of death on your Xbox. Usually means that your motor is gone. Okay, I will tell you, some months ago this engine was replaced. I wish I had the video. I think I deleted it, but this engine was making a straight knocking sound. Knock, 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 knock. It was loud enough that the customer, she knew that something was wrong with the motor. Check engine lights flashing, a lot of loss of power, all that stuff. She can't drive it, okay? So since this motor was replaced, usually it's three things. Either you have straight up engine damage, rod bearings, cam, something in the engine is internally damaged and it has to be replaced under warranty if you're lucky. Another thing is the knock sensor has failed. That's another big one. And lastly, you might just need a ECU update, which is the last one. So because the customer has to wait a whole entire month to actually go to the dealer again, she wants to take a chance and change out the knock sensor. Okay, this is the old one, and I have it on DC volts. Notice that it has a 0.18 volts right now going through it. It is I can't get it to do anything else. Usually you can tap these and you can make the voltage go up and down, but I can't get it to do it on resistance or anything. So I'm at 20k omegas, or at omega 20k, nothing. And I'm testing continuity. It's at 0.2. You guys can see that. 0.2, 0.1. Nothing. All right, so we're going to switch this off now, and I'm going to change out this part. Yeah, I'm getting nothing. So just to know that something is different between the two. Yep, so there's a distinct difference between the old knock sensor and the new one. I'm going to start putting this stuff in. I don't really have time today to make this like super detailed, so I'm gonna try to be quick with you guys. With the intake manifold off, the knock sensor sits right behind cylinder 3, the fuel injector. You do have to remove this tab. You push it down, and then you press it in a little bit and it pulls down. Okay, so now I'm gonna put the new knock sensor on. I'm gonna show you where it mounts at, and then we're gonna hurry up and get this stuff back on. I need to hurry up. And I'm going to run it down through here. Okay, so this gets torqued between 15 and 17 foot-pounds. When I had the old one, I noticed that it went all the way up to 17 and that did not move. So I'm going to torque it to about 16 and a half, 17 foot-pounds. You can fit it right through here. Notice I'm trying to use as little extensions as possible. The more extensions you'll have, you'll be a little bit more off. Nice and slow. All right, we're dialed in. I'm gonna get this fuel injector sensor right here. It literally sits right over top of the sensor. So I'm gonna bring it back like this. Snap it in, you'll hear a snap, and then there's a lock tab, and that's in. Perfect. This knock sensor right here, it wants to loop and sit right in here. Hold on. Oh, well, it's in there now. Okay, and then this, I'll show you where this goes. This actually attaches to the intake manifold itself. Lastly, the intake manifold actually usually has a bracket right here. There is no bracket on this one, so I'm just gonna drop it in and get ready. I'm gonna clean these little surfaces for the for the intake manifold. Only reason I'm not replacing the gaskets, the motor is brand new. All right, hold on. Pull the dipstick out. Yeah. All right, we got our silencer on. Drop this in here. Just like that. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start reinstalling these bolts. All right, using a paper towel, notice that it doesn't fall. I'm gonna gently slide this in. And we should catch some threads. Get this in. I'm gonna get this one in, this here, there's one here, and one on the side here, okay? Alright, 16 foot-pounds again. It said between 14 and 17 again, so I'm gonna stick with my gut and 16 again. Alright, I don't actually remember if this hose went underneath or over top of this wiring harness, but I'm assuming that it went underneath. I'm going to reattach this hose to the PCV right here, just like that. Alright, right here, it's a 10 mil that goes here, but I'm going to reattach these two hoses, 1 and 2, before I put this 10 mil back on. Reattach your throttle body bolts. There are 4 10 millimeters. Don't know what the torque spec is for that, but it can't be no more than like 6 or 7 foot-pounds. Do not overkill it. This is connected to the plastic housing. Now there's a sensor right by it. We need to reattach. Okay, we have our hoses in. We're connected back to the body. I have this 10 mil, I have to put it back right here. Our throttle body is reconnected. Our sensor down here is reconnected. We are now going to start playing with the sensors over here. Alright, there are 3 connectors that go here. When you take these out, how you pop them out, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a cutout in these, okay? When they snap in place, if you get one of these pick tools and you push it in from the back, pause, it'll pop up and you can pull it out, okay? Alright, so now you're going to notice, you're going to hear them snap. That's 1. That's 2. And that's 3, okay? I'm going to plug these connectors in. This is the knock sensor connector, all the way to the right. This 1. This is 2. There you go. And then this weird sensor here is 3. And she's on. Good. And there's one more sensor that plays with this actuator. Might be like a mess. I mean, an intake manifold pressure sensor or something. There you go. Okay. But then lastly, we're going to put our intake on. So, I'm just going to drop it in like this. And it just drops into place. Tighten this back down. I'm going to pull this off. I use this masking tape to remind me where these connectors go. And we're just going to gently walk it down like this. Good. Connector. There you go. And perfect way to put that back. Okay, so we have our electrical harnesses in. We have them down here. We have this torque down all the way across. We have our connector hoses here. Throttle body is back in. Air box is back in. This hose connector is back in. Connector down here is back in. Everything's torqued down. Like I said, the only thing this car didn't have was the bracket on it. Now we're going to put the air box back in. One thing I did take off was the battery terminal, the ground terminal. But gonna get our air box right here and reattach these two. Finally, with everything reassembled, put back together. Don't ask me where that bolt is. didn't have it on there. And we're gonna put this back on. Might get a little spark. I'm wearing gloves, so hopefully we don't shock ourselves. There you go. Wiggle test, and we're good. All right, let's go in the car. We're gonna clear the codes out and spray to the car guides. One thing I wanted to mention was before I actually changed the knock sensor and took the battery off, this check engine light was flashing even in the on position. We used to have 3 of these. We had a permanent, pending, and I forgot the other one. It was permanent and pending and something else. I'm just gonna erase it. Some of these times, these kind of more difficult codes, the car will still say it has it, but the check engine light will probably be off. All right, so let's start her up. All right, she's quiet right now. She's not hesitating. She's not chirping. She's not bucking. We might be good. I'm gonna let it run for about 5 minutes, take it for a spin, and hope it's our lucky day today. Okay, I wanted to go over a couple things that I did before I replaced the knock sensor on the Kia. This is actually my car right now. I just wanted to show that one of the first things I checked was my ignition timing, okay? Like I said previously, when the car first had that same problem before the engine was replaced, you could literally hear the engine going knock, 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 knock. And the ignition timing, if I'm not mistaken, back then, it was kind of all over the place. The numbers was going up and down a lot, all right? Since that engine was brand new, when you look at, this is my car right now, when you're looking at engine timing, you want your engine timing to be relatively consistent. Mine is basically hovering right around that 16-degree mark. If you see your ignition timing going up and down sporadically, it usually means that you have a timing chain or you have other problems with your Kia motor. Since I didn't have that problem either, I'll show you what I checked next. Okay, my car simply doesn't support it because this is old, but another thing I checked for was the misfiring monitor. On this, I can check each cylinder, which is a 4-cylinder, and I checked each cylinders and just made sure that none of the cylinders were misfiring. Obviously, if there's a misfire on each of the cylinders or any of the cylinders, that could kind of cause your knock sensor to act up a little bit. We didn't have any of those issues, okay? So I just wanted to show how I came to that conclusion. So we had a new engine put in. We didn't have any actual like knocking sounds anymore. Obviously with the new engine, no knocking sounds, no timing issues, no misfires or anything like that. The other two things that usually pop up when you get that P1326 code is that your ECU needs to be updated, or like I guess the ECU needs to be updated. Only the dealer can do that. But the last one is that this knock sensor itself can fail, and when this knock sensor fails, it goes into that limp mode and you get that P1326 code. Problem is too, your most OBD sensors don't give you any kind of description for that code either, so when people get it, they just kind of don't know what to do. When you're looking here, I had to take off this one to make sure I got it right. I'm happy I brought it to the store with me because the one I was going to get was incorrect. So it is 39250-2G100 for the knock sensor, and obviously the proper code or the actual part number you're going to need is a Santech KS0098. This is a actual OEM part for the Kia Optima 2.4 liter. All right, so just want to make sure I gave you guys that information before I close the video out. All right, he's running good now, you guys. No codes, no hesitation, no issues. I think we might have solved our problem here. Thanks for watching, you guys. Till next time, out.